at Central Market. I'm eating pizza, so you can give me money in person through PayPal. It's AR Blue Sky. Blue Sky Designs. Go and look at Stevens on the Straight to My Heart. Arlene Lorenzo Art. Shop INTAYIAFAY. Entire shop. What was the name of that place that I was walking by the other day? There was a boutique that was supposed to I'm a victim of domestic violence, genocide, abuse. What's the name of that place? It's near the Best Western. What else? I all the cheese. And I don't many for food. You can decapitate by having soda substance. That break me and steal my money and get in the way we receive money. They want to impose Catholicism onto people who are so stupid. They want polyamory that killed millions of people in the past 5 years alone. They're stupid. They're stupid. And they think I'm just gonna pick one of them. I'd rather die than have that dick. Ellos se pelean entre ellos mismos. They're illegal prostitutes and stuff. Well, so they treat me as if my parents were married Catholic. The only way that I'll be happy is with a Catholic marriage. Cool. They're embarrassing. They're embarrassing. Or they still try to feel each other. Ew, 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 ew. Lord. That's so. That's the premiere story. There's a boutique there, that girl, whatever. They're so stupid. They're bitches. They're Titanic. They're what is it? Sex slaves. So stupid. They're drug addicts. So stupid. I was trafficked into a homeless shelter while I had to visit a dress for success while he steals my money and tries to kill me and tries to rape me in retaliation for me not having sex with him. In retaliation for me being a fan of fashion. Fashion is life. One has to eat, one has to drink water, one's allowed to buy stuff. This is like stupid. Stupid. Unheard of before, people say. Oh, how stupid they are. They're disgusting. What else? 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 Tagging the FBI in this post. You can decapitate everyone that steals my money, everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate Andrea Kurt that possibly killed Gloria Nilsa Acevedo. If she trafficked me into poverty so I would end up at a homeless shelter. If she stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, and gets in the way of me receiving money. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I don't remember. It's not memorable. The name of the person that talked to me address for success. Possibly Alicia stays in my homes without my permission. That steals my vehicles. Said that she has a vintage store, possibly selling goods they steal from me. They're stupid. Does the FBI play that game? And they're like, well, this Alicia because you steal from her, maybe she doesn't even remember you. You're gonna be helping her out just for success today. To see what she remembers about you. When she does her Facebook posting live thing, what else? 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 You can have everyone that stays in my homes without my permission, everyone that steals my vehicle, everyone that stays in my homes without my permission, everyone that steals my money, everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I just want that documented that I leave. Gloria Nisa mocked me for wearing Miss Salve. Is not wearing hand me downs, guys. I got a really nice pair of heels. That was the only thing that I got there. Them brand new girls that he plays with her. It's like, darling, shake my trisquecito, brasquear. Oh, es una normal asqueroso, una basura. Ew, ew, ew. It was a Spanish brand. I got some really nice brand. The when I googled them brand new, they're like $200. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? She thought that I would look like a clown. She thought that I would look like a clown. I'm going on my 5th year of being homeless. Okay, even if Opportunity Home is paying for my rent, I have no money. And I managed to keep a standard. This t-shirt is possibly from Target. I wear black denim from Gap. And white sneakers from Target and Haze socks. I'm bored. I'm bored. You can copy the way of it, but it's guns that rate me that steal my money, get in the way of me save money. So that Joanna Vargas, a girl that had 2 sets of grandparents, her own room. That's she went alone. There's Ben. Do you want to know how much my grandparents left me inheritance? I wouldn't know because they're so aggressive. My parents never gave me money. My parents are like, no. Es un afrentado basura que vive por los días 1 y 15 de las mujeres que trabajan como secretaria. Ni te atrevas a decirle a él si te consigues un trabajo just even for fun, los días que tú cobras o dónde trabajas, porque él va a averiguar o va a saber si es el gobierno. A lot of people already know. When people get paid. Y él literalmente a 15 llama a la gente, ¿llevan a comer? Hoy compraste. That's no Roman so gross. Ew. My parents were like, we're not gonna give you money, so you're with. Llévame a comer que hoy cobraste. Ew. Y los demás días, nena, no teníamos casado. Más que el día que cobraron, bruto. ¿Cómo se voy a decir? Or in stocks, funds. That can be cash out. ¿De qué hace la mujer o el hombre ese de toda la semana? Que él solamente te aparece los días que... So this tasteful, ew. I'm really good at not ever having them in my life. I saw this lead at a nightclub on my birthday in Sacramento. And such like I'm hungry when I leave. I didn't pre-plan. I was to stay in a hotel. I had Jaden with me. My sister flew in for. So that ruined my plans of getting a sitter for Jaden in the hotel room while I dance and eat in downtown Sacramento for my birthday. So when I saw him, I thought, ugh, that guy went to school in the same school that I older than me. So I wasn't there. Excuse me, while I attended. This murder, I think, facilitated females raping me. I've seen that female with him before. They offer for her to rape me. I don't want that happening. All within seconds in my head. My kid is with my leash of a sister. No. This isn't a switcheroo. She isn't even Edgar's wife. She's just a kidnapper, hostage taker to be like a bad. If she were a wife, I wouldn't be running a conversation. I won't ever give up my kid for adoption. Y menos por peneful. Ew, they're so embarrassing, so gross. So I didn't feel safe, so Edgar didn't complain or ever said anything. Like, or said you know him or are you feeling safe? Nothing. I said I want to leave, I'm hungry. I asked the person that looked like worked there, is there a place around here to eat that you can recommend? I think she recommended a burger place. Did we visit? Can't even remember. They're embarrassing, they're stupid. You can decapitate Mario Lorenzo Acevedo wants to kill me to take hostage Jada and Kehlani. Everything they see in a telenovela, they're like, this is such a routine, okay? Your kid is 2 years old, te viene conmigo. It's possibly boy. No, I didn't agree to that shit. My sister possibly suggested that to him. So he possibly showed up. And then they say that in rich families, when the kid is 2 years old, la madre lo abandona porque ya él la vio y la reconoce como madre. And then ella se va con otro de los maridos. After Galani turned 2, my sibling Was looking after Jenny Galani. I don't know why I did that. So they were at a hotel in Vegas that I was at a pool. Like that is not what I want. It could have been a coincidence. But they think that I'm the telenovela star. That after her kids turn two, she abandons the kids for a man. Es uno puerco asqueroso. They put no effort into dating one. They hire not fake interior designer para que se haga pasar por mí, para que se lo mame con el dinero que he has to date me. And then wants to show up for the wedding day with me. Da un asco. Son una basura. They're done laugh at them at my huge availability without any money. And they're paying illegal hookers to pretend to be me. Porque they say. You can decapitate me having so son that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of my money. They're disgusting, they're stupid. They wanted to celebrate an anniversary with me of raping me for no. My sister went like dale, their half brother. I don't know if this one was there. I think this one was there too. And el otro, at least three of them, walked up to me and they're like, when you're with Edgar, are we gonna celebrate our anniversary, you and I? I'm like, what? No, I would have gone out on a date, but no, I'm not celebrating our anniversary. Ew. All they do is rape me, cause my parents starve me, steal from me. And they think that because la novela those celebrate anniversaries too, that I would have celebrated an anniversary with them. They're disgusting. Es un puerco asqueroso. My siblings think that I cry for that day. I don't want it. They're embarrassing. Where was I the other day? It was on Broadway. It was near La Planeta Queriana and the World Trade Center. I think that's oh Canela Vintage. Possibly what they steal from me. You can decapitate everyone that stays at my home without my permission, that steals my vehicles, that steals from me, that gets in the way of me receiving money. I don't like going on like thinking like ahora en estos momentos yo estoy aquí sola. Ya me diré money. Pero ahora mismo hay que saltar que is that one. O con Marilyn que está, ¿dónde estará Isabela? ¿Dónde está? Ew. These leeches are so gross. They're snoopers, they're stalkers, they take people hostage. You can decapitate like this, whatever it is. If she's having a baby trying to torment me, that I didn't have a baby with him, stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, or gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate la leche esa Ginny and the lady solo ni lo que es mujer, sabe cambiar su code y ya. Her dad said decades ago. Ew, that's not a child. There's no jail program for la que solamente sabe cambiarse el codex. Ew, I'm seeking the death penalty for Jendy Lorenzo. What else? What else? What else? They can decapitate everyone that steals from me. Everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate everyone that steals from me. Everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate everyone that steals from me. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. You can decapitate everyone that steals my homes. They may be dropping off to her for her to buy herself. You can decapitate. They have me as hard as the sons that rape me, that steal my home, steal my vehicles, get in the way of me receiving money, and steal my money. They're stupid. I don't ever want that leash near me. Yeah. I'm bored. You can give me money in person through PayPal. It's Air Blue Sky. Blue Sky High School. And straight to my heart. I didn't art. Shop INEY. INEY. I'm tired shop. Forget this is what rich people do. What else? What else? I'm bored. I posted on Facebook earlier. What else? I posted on Facebook earlier. I won't ever be taking them on a date. They're disgusting. They stole my money to date them. They pay people illegally to pretend to be me. That's disgusting. They infiltrated my homes with leeches that do drugs, that are illegal prostitutes, so I can't get my property there. It facilitates females raping me. It's so disgusting. I don't ever want that near me. But her brother wished me luck. It's They're embarrassing. They're embarrassing. They possibly go around saying people that say she's dating blatantly, very direct, and she won't ever date you. And they'll be like, yeah, but that's not what her brother's culo said to me earlier. He gave me his ass and said, good luck with her. They're disgusting. Dementia is what it's from. What is the name for that? She stays in my homes without my permission. She steals my vehicles. She gets in the way of receiving money. She steals my money so I can be with my man. When she was 4 years old, she walked up to me with a crush that was 18 years older than me. With a machete in her hand, and said to me, "Stay away from my man." Then, on a night that I was naked in la cancha de la escuela Dr. Juan Besoto, she was 4 years old, I think, if that happened. A group of women walked up to him naked, started getting undressed, and said, "Not in front of the 3-year-old," pointing to where I was at. So I left casually. I thought maybe they need space. Well, this leak walked onto him and started screaming, away from him. Eso fue. Y yo, es una puerca asquerosa, una asquerosidad, eso no sabe ser mujer. Ella nada más porque ella le abre la tota y el culo. He safeguards más sola because that's the only skill that makes her feel like an adult. So she kills for Marsola oil just to fry because that's what she thinks makes her an adult. She's dangerous. What is extremist? She's a terrorist, girls. She wants to try to force people into Catholicism for her to be the queen of polyamory. She killed Gloria Nisa for being polyamorous. Stupid, stupid, so gross. Oh, I'm appalled that I even have to bring her up. It's disgusting. What else? What else? What else? Um, there's a mess here. Oh, I'm tired of this song. I vestida Vescanoni. You can decapitate Jenny Gandariris, Lorenzo Suarez. That has been trying to rape Jaden Kilani since before Jaden Kilani were born. She's disgusting, so gross. Stupid, so disgusting. I'm bored. I don't care for dick or vagina. To me, sex is like skiing. I was born in an island where there's no snow. So I'll get to it. I get to it. She wants to try to position herself as better than me. In sex, she can't be me. So que carajo es eso? She observed me when I was having sex with this and his brother decades ago when I was 3. And she got in the way and went like, "I can do better than you." And got me out of the way. I'm like, esa asquerosidad. I think that was the last orgy that I attended. My parents were like, She doesn't like leeches. Ew, 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 ew. They're trying to cause Alzheimer onto me or put me in a wheelchair because that would put me in the state of I was 2 years old. They steal my money so that I don't have PayPal, porque that would demonstrate that I've already moved on to being, mira, ya tengo cana en el pelo, and that they weren't ever men enough to have sex with me. They're stupid. They're stupid. I don't ever want that near me. What else? You can give me money ASAP. There's no, como Neri le dijo a esta en un group chat que me enteré, como esta le dijo a esta otro en un group chat que me enteré. There's none of that. I don't talk to anyone. I'm my own best friend, and my priority always is myself. And these two, Jada and Kehlani. That's always my priority. Myself, Jada and Kehlani. You can decapitate everyone that's caused my poverty, my starvation, my loneliness, my homelessness, so that Jada and Kehlani can't be with me. Anyways, I posted earlier since that time again, but like, what is it, riled up, and I don't like being annoyed. What else? What else? What else? Oh, he goes to the cops and says she's bullying me. Stupid. He's stupid. What else? 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 I want Benjamin Suarez's sons that have raped me, to steal my money, and stay in my homes without my permission, steal my vehicles, and steal my money to kill themselves today. It's May 4, 2025. Chop, chop. Hurry up. And they're gonna this man to kill himself today. I want David Ledesma to kill himself today. He's trying to turn me into a sex slave. Ni una pieza de arte me compró. For FBI purposes. Ni una pieza de arte me compró. He's trying to demoralize me as if my artwork isn't important while he possibly forges it, sells illegal items with my work on it, faking that he and I are in a relationship when we aren't, and then goes on to try to traffic me into being a sex slave. He's disgusting. You can decapitate Veronica Venegas if she's trafficked me into poverty for her to be on Tinder, raping people and say, but Arlene is now a sex slave thanks to David Ledesma. That's their bio on Tinder. Arlene is starving. Ew, ew, ew. Dan un asco, son una basura. What else? I'm bored. I need to block his account again. I had, what is that? Unblocked him. Oh, look at all things that he's a model on the internet while I'm starving. El tipo es un puerco, una basura, una asquerosidad. Ew, 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 ew. I just unblocked him the other day to tell him que es un puerco, pero it didn't stay blocked. I mean, it didn't say tagged. El tipo es una basura, una asquerosidad. You can decapitate David Quiroz, David Ledesma, whatever his name is. Esa la mamá Beatriz Nieves. Until one of them rapes me. Así ellos son un asco, son animales uno encima del otro, son una asquerosidad. Y una gente tan puerca, una gente puerca asquerosa. Full. In the meantime, I say that. You can decapitate everyone that is her Latin Mexican lover. Is she still on drugs? Ew, waiting for my pussy picture. They're disgusting because I refuse to have sex with them. They terrorize me and they steal from me. They're stupid. They're good adult age too. Ew, they're not embarrassed. Ew, they're trying to traffic me into being their best friend so I become one of them. They're stupid. You can decapitate Brittany Akerson. You can decapitate that waste of time Sonia Laral Chapman. You can decapitate Rosaura Soto Rosa. You can decapitate Tiffany and whatever her last name is. You can decapitate Gustavo Cáceres. I'm bored. I'm bored. What else I got? What am I buying for myself to take to my apartment for me to eat dinner? Maybe I'll walk to free food tomorrow. I'm visiting Guadalupe Shrine Church and the Catholic Charities Place. Oh, those aren't pictures. When did I take those pictures? Oh, they're on the camera. This is appropriate. So born. You can decapitate behind Suárez Wilson. Okay, la hermana me dijo que me verse la mami a ella y matarle. They're stupid. They're so gross. They're embarrassing. I'm born. They're embarrassing if they think that they exist. Ew, I never think about them. I won't ever think about them. They're embarrassing. They're embarrassing. I can choose who I can be family with. And it's always gonna be Jaden Gimani myself. That's it. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. Where is what an updated one? What else? What else? What else? Villas like these. So Gigi Zendaliri Lorenzo Suarez killed Gloria Irsa thinking that I would get attached to Ana Elba Suarez for Gigi Zendaliri to tell me, get away from my mother. Gigi Zendaliri was a struggler that because her parents' work was always around my parents when I was a child and has tried to take over my life. She's stupid. She's disgusting. An embarrassment. Ew, 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 ew. You can decapitate. Gini Zendaliri Lorenzo Suarez. What else? You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez sons that killed Gloria Mirza because she didn't take them out on a date. They're terrorists. They're so gross. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. They're stupid. They're stupid. That's a picture that I took. There's two activities that I want to do there. The gym and there's painting with the neighbors. That would be fun at least to try once. And I don't have electricity, so I'm in my apartment. And I owe money. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. This is why they were trying to traffic me into an apartment complex that doesn't offer activities or doesn't have a pool. Para que cuando él lleve a Yaritza Lorenzo así de brazo, como que en mi Barbie en la playa, la gente diga, wow. You know, like, oh, there's Arlene. At the pool in her apartment, they compare apples to oranges. They're stupid. They're stupid. A judge will allow me to say that straight to their faces before they die, hopefully for stealing from me and raping me. They're stupid. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons that rape me, that steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate Yaritza Lorenzo that stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money and steals my money. They're stupid. I'm bored. I'm bored. What else? Okay, I shouldn't be having to be forced begging on the internet for 5 years while he gets rich off of telling people Arlene is poor, give me money to give to her. He fakes being married to me to extort people out of money. They're disgusting. What else? I just posted. There's an activity that I want to do this week, and there's a pool that I want to visit. Anyways, he's no longer following me on Instagram. I'm telling this to myself. Just like when he started following me, if that's him, I didn't tell anyone. I don't need to tell anyone. That was the threat, most likely, that he's trying to kill me. And now that I've made it public that I'm seeking the death penalty for him. If that was him, where did it go? Did I block it? Oh, because you need to delete one. What else? What else? What else? What else? So I noticed right briefly that he's no longer following me. Or I made it public that he's trying to kill me. You can decapitate everyone that steals my money, everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicles. You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. Diligenaliris. These two 1 decades ago, Kayla's his favorite. He took me hostage into my own home and then bragged that a 5-year-old illegal prostitute that he found was pretending to be me in my home, down to the crayons. They're stupid. Este fue el que se la llevó en el carro y la violó en la playa so that I would get jealous and have sex. They're stupid. They're stupid. They're stupid. They're so gross. You can decapitate Kayla Barnes. You can decapitate Rebecca Washington. What did she say to me in Nordstrom? Kiehl's lotion, Kiehl's lotion. I'm like, I love the smell of that. Years later. But because I always am around people with caution. Pero people say it did get to you. You quit. And you could have excelled there for a little bit while you met people, while you achieve financial stability, just for the fun of it. They're so stupid. They're so stupid. They're disgusting. Decades ago, they're like, deja que Rebecca te amenace with kills. He thought that I would run towards him and be like, Rebecca me amenazó con kills. Because he's trying to make me crazy or sound crazy. And he would have been like, Arlene, kills is just a lotion. He doesn't have it in writing that he terrorized me with Rebecca's gonna terrorize you on Nordstrom one day with kills if you work there. So then he possibly would have recorded me being like, Rebecca me amenazó con kills. I took Lauren Garza with me into a police station. Like, so I can't tell you much, I said to the police officer. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but there's like people, I think, entering my apartment. I'm really stressed out at work. What else? What else? What else? What else? Because I couldn't verbalize. I was speech impaired. So I'm like, I guess I should just into the police department, the nearest one to Nordstrom. What precinct is? What location is that? I'm like, I'm really stressed out. I have stalkers, blah, blah, blah. Can you take me to the police station? Because I'm so. But I wasn't frazzled. What else? What else? What else? What else? There's video at Nordstrom that these leeches were there. The FBI, Mithro Lorenzo or his relatives, love taking picture of these leeches driving my vehicles that they steal. So if they grew up into adult age stealing my vehicles, those people have picture of that. They send to the FBI. The only talent is that they know how to change their tampon and pads, so there's no program in jail to rehabilitate them. Sometimes people say even their own parents. So just because they're out there doesn't mean that they're good people. They're disgusting. You can decapitate Ramiro Gonzalez that stays in my homes without my permission, try to traffic me into a secretary job, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, is trying to rape me. What else? 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 I am bored. That's his favorite thing now. To get people hooked on Herbalife, Atache. And he says if those people that exist, I can have illegal hookers. He's stupid. Shoot him already. Ew, 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 ew. How cute. Free, 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 free. According to this. What else? 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 I'm bored. Oh, I want to eat that by myself. Didn't get on here with me. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel the planet and people with you 20 years. I'm excited about that. Anyways, this is like a fully functional building. I don't want to be stressing my neighbor, so that's possibly why they've eliminated the electricity in all floors. In the hallway, when I pay for my electricity, then I'll submit a note and say like, "There's no electricity in the power outlets in the hallway." So that's when I pay for my electricity. What else? And there's always the library, and this place opens at 8:30, so I can charge my phone briefly to get to the bus stop to get over to the Guadalupe Shrine Church. Like if I head over to Martin Luther King to catch the 9:56-ish bus, like I can get a relative good charge in an hour. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. And I noticed today when I charged my phone out there that I didn't even go live. It was so peaceful. I didn't feel claustrophobic in the hallway, literally seeking shelter, asking people online to give me money. So I just literally sat this morning on a bench, charged my phone on a power outlet outside. And to get to the bus, I could have walked to Carver Library, but I didn't want to. Just like for a charge to get to HEB and then Bazaar Library. What else? 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 I'm bored. They're trying to frame Edgar as if Edgar abused me, as if we didn't have electricity ever in our apartment or in our home, to make themselves look like men. Él va mamándose a la gente y diciéndole a la gente, ella no me llama porque Edgar no la deja. She's not my friend because her baby daddy won't let me be her friend. They're stupid. They're stupid. Does he go on telling people, oh, she won't call me because she's with the baby daddy and he won't let her? I have no desire to ever be with that leech. They're disgusting. And they blame the baby daddy. They're stupid. They're stupid. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. Otra más que possibly went on complaining de que Edgar no me dejó verlo. They're stupid. He went on in my bedroom and said that Yesenia Ramirez Lorenzo treated him better because he had her own bedroom. I didn't want to be with him in that moment. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. They're disgusting. You can decapitate Richie Hill that raped me in 2023. You can decapitate David Ledesma that raped me in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo that steals my money so I get raped, so I get close to her. He gets a sister. Well, she tells me, I saw your vagina picture as a art critic. They're embarrassing. They're so gross. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. Oh, I like this. Not the shot that I was going for. They are very much fun. What other one? I can do multiple of these. What else? When was the I sent those pictures to Big Mommy? I'm born. When does the bus get here? What else? When did I take those pictures? Born. And financial peace. So I can tan in the balcony of where I'm currently staying. I need a home for myself dedicated on the 8th. So. What else? What else? What else? Those leeches that I grew up around don't have conversations unless there's like 40 people in the audience. So that people are like, wow! Literally. They're disgusting. Like, let's just say a couple is going through, like, did I leave my keys in your home? Because I just walked up to my vehicle and I forgot the keys. Let's all get in a group chat first so that when I ask Fulano if I left my key in his home, what will his reaction be, guys? Will you make a booja for him if he has the keys or not? Will one of you go on to say, what the fuck, who are you? I've never met you before, because they predict, they're like, guys, guys, guys. And some people say that's because you don't to record it and you have us as viewers. So he may just react differently than if you can't walk up to the door and say, guys, I mean, Fulano, did I leave my car key here? What else? What else? What else? What else? It was in this. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Gilbert Lorenzo Acevedo. When was this? You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Santos sons that rape me, that steal my money, and get in the way of mercy money. I don't ever want that near me. It's disgusting. What else? What else? What else? Actually, save up my travel time just because I'm open to having sex with women doesn't mean that I'm gonna open my legs to la primera mujer que se me presenta al lado de él. Esto es un puerco asqueroso. There's people in Aguada, Puerto Rico that have immunity to kill David Ledesma for raping their sons, for raping their daughters, for raping them. Es un asco, una basura. He thinks that everything can be fixed with sexual energy. It's stupid, so gross. Y un puerco asqueroso. I don't ever want that near me. That's laughable. And that went on to marry him thinking that I was after him. They're stupid. They're stupid. They're embarrassing too. Ew, 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 ew. What else? I'm bored. Anyways, when I'm financially stable, I plan to travel, plan and meet people. Ideally, polyamorous. These are good too. Do I know all these pictures? Say listens. I'm gonna visit the John F. Germany Library. Wood in Tampa. I want to get Eddie's and Sam's. I want a massage from the JW Marriott. I may want to stay at the Epicurean Hotel. Who's gifting me money today? I'm bored. I'm bored. Where was that? You can decapitate everyone that caused my poverty so I would work at Gap. You can decapitate everyone that's caused my poverty so I work at Nordstrom. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Sarah Francis. You can decapitate Berenice Venegas. You can decapitate Leon Baker. You can decapitate Elisa Suarez Lorenzo. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons that raped me and steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. They're stupid. They're rapists, murderers, and thieves. I don't want them in my life ever. I'm bored. I'm sleepy. And I'm in the mood to post the Carol or Patterson. I'm not say Patterson. Central Market to Travis Park. I miss Jaden. I miss Jaden. And I want to try to replace themselves for Jaden and Giglani, or what is it? They're trying to get me to replace Jaden Giglani with them. They're stupid. They're stupid. I would never do that to myself. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Martin and Navarro. What's the latest ish? And then we'll just stay here until 10 maybe. What's the latest? 12:57. Oh, that's not fascinating though. Oh no. Oh, there's the downtown lineup at 1 a.m. Is it because of Fiesta? Or did it change for it's always been so confused? Oh, I was good confused though. What else? So 10:57. There's 209 at 11. So I don't have to stress that I need like a regular charge my phone, so I could use my phone. I'm bored. What was I doing? I'm posting here. I love living like a tourist. What else? What else? What else? What else? It's the outlook on life. Sadly, reality. Electricity bills past due. Past due fees. This is a very nice place that these leeches are ruining for me. They're disgusting. They're trying to traffic me back into my childhood bedroom to just enter my parents' home and rape me like they did when I was little. No, they're disgusting. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. They think that because they wear a size 1 in the men's department that they're men. Oh, there's that sign there that says that first food and everything else. What was I gonna search for? I have no idea. Ew, ew, ew. Anyways, I love living like I'm on vacation. I love living like I'm on vacation. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. What was I gonna search? Wait, you want this? How terrifying! My thinking because it's our and I'm like, oh, I guess I can't like. How do I do so? Oh my god, they're my best. I don't want us to see it if one believes in rehabilitation. Like the middle-aged white woman that he was. Like I ended a war at 9. What else to say? They're stupid. They're killing us under now. They said that now they're giving them release. That they'll put the machetes away. Now they won't stop killing, but now I was just feeling hunger. What is So yeah, my parents know that I believe in equality, even back then. So they're like, that's good, terrifying as a daughter that you would fall in love with someone and then it turns out to be drug lord cases. Danger is not a man. What else? What else? What else? Where's Pito, Miguel? And they would be like, oh, she remembers them. She doesn't bring. Oh, so you lost interest in him. Ok, yo no, porque a veces yo entro a la iglesia y la gente literalmente está diciendo que cuando se casan Y yo digo, like, truly, I don't know. Pero as in, I don't know, like, si salgan, I don't know. Or cuando la puedo decir, like, no, she's not married. I went from I don't know to she's not married. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? That's what I want right now. What else? In the meantime, they've caused so much distress with their stupidity that they kill millions of at a time. That's not even counting the people that have died in Gaza, in the Ukraine, anywhere that he thinks I would find a man sexy is Russian. Él es bruto. So my primas and I were doing like the girl talk thing. Here's some candy and here's a magazine. Russian men, lo que sí alguno. And I don't know where they come up from stalking like minutes later at a party. And they're like, yelling, okay, Russian men saying my dick is available. I'm like, that's fun. Ew, 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 ew. Ew, he ruined my life. Was it Albert? When I said to Sarah, like, don't stress, I'm not trying to rape you just because you were invited to this or because I want to meet people to date. She's like, it's called casually going out when you're older. I'm like, I know, I didn't expect for there to and it doesn't go through to them. I said, I want to meet people, I want to travel, get me an au pair. Weeks later, they're like, here's your new outfit, we're having a party so you can meet people. There's your baby future baby time. So they planned it like very well. They were listening to me because they didn't even keep him out of it. Edgar was there. I'm like, new boy, he's so handsome. Who this? You and I are having babies together, are we? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? From just like out of the bushes, one of these comes out and say que tú haces invitándola a bailar a ella. Yo te iba a llevar a bailar a ti. De ahora en adelante voy a llevarla a bailar a ella. You can decapitate it. I mean, sorry, so sons that rape me, that steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. I don't need such abuse in my life. That's stupid. It's like you have to work for a relationship. Be at least pleasant and not be screaming at one as if you're sexually frustrated when I am asexual and I only have sex under the right circumstances. These two are produced because as a victim of the that I am Edgar brought them to life literally by sustaining me financially while I live with him. What else? What? In the meantime, I'm missing out. I was thinking earlier how behind the scenes, mostly all of those illegal processes that I grew up around are my relatives. I possibly say, pero Jaden, Kehlani, do they have them hostage? ¿No te molesta que los tenis de Jaden parecen que son de marca y los tuyos? ¿Cuánto tu mamá pagó por los tenis de Jaden versus por los tuyos, Kehlani? O Jaden, ¿tú no te recuerdas del precio de los tuyos? ¿Son de Marshalls or Foot Locker? Or are they maybe sometimes children's place makes and Old Navy? Oof, I love those non-name brands. they would size them up and like sumar y restar cuánto saldría uno de ellos back then violarlo si yo hubiese dejado que me pagaran. Liter, that's how they speak. And if they were stealing from one, it would be cute or kind of like, you know, how much was that? And one can do the math really quickly in the moment too. But they can't be talking like that to a person that they steal from and then they want to read. There's a difference, and I'm no prude. That shows that too. If we were all financially stable and fine, I would be laughing maybe as long as I know that my kid is safe and isn't hearing that. What else? What else? What else? What else? Dennis Martin. Oh, Jamboree don't go. No. What was that was gone? So pretty. Speaking of hats, what else? What is this, girl? Are the shoes? What else? Shoes and accessories. Sometimes I don't have any, but they come out with the collection. What? Oh, those are pretty. I bought some similar ones for Kehlani. Do I want to pick sneakers? Possibly, but maybe I'll see the inside of it. Tenis and marca. And let's just assume that I paid full price for them. So that was approximately like maybe 33 back then, $30, 26 even. But we're all black Nike. That's not toddler, that's boys. That's not all black. This is difficult because there's some ones that like the Air Max is like over a certain price point. I'm gonna pick some like Kohl's or Kids for Locker, which won't matter. Possibly. I don't remember what they are. I'm assuming they're Nike. That I either got at one of these stores, North Carolina Line. I don't possibly paid that much, if possibly the highest. Very rarely I went over some Jordan shoes. I paid much more, but I don't think I ever went more than $75 for sneakers. I never saw the need for it. I'm not into like it has to be the Air Max for him to look expensive. I honestly sometimes look at them like that doesn't go with any of the outfits the I'm putting together with him. So that's an option for him when he's older. But it's not necessarily like, oh, they're so expensive and never. Or I'd have to like have like give anal to make her tonight so I can. It's not like that. What else? What else? What else? What else? These are cute. It's weird because sometimes I see these and then I see like something like a cool thing that I want them to get into it themselves too. So Kaylani got a pair that she showed me once. So I wouldn't like. I want them to be able to pop some cherries. So when I see those, they maybe they notice at the store. I don't look at it like, oh no, not this one. It's expensive. I'm like, I'm just gonna use some black shoes for the outfit, and they're welcome to say, how about these? They do that sometimes. Sometimes they're like, oh, place it on me, and that's fine. So I'm not having conversations behind the scenes with leeches that don't pay my bills ever. And if they were gonna give me money, it's literally for me to do with the money as I please. For them to compare the price point of Kaylani shoes versus Jaden's, if Kaylani feels more expensive or not, they use them as therapists sometimes. They're like, because I have a trauma. Here I am with my own brother in some picture. Y los tenis que él tenía eran más baratos que los míos, pero yo me sentía bien día. What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. Anyways, I miss Jada and Miss Kehlani. Still have a lot of trauma to do with them too. What else? What else? What else? This isn't me being wishful thinker. I have a dream. I'm a victim of death. This is some level of abuse. They're a mockery of what a man would be. They're disgusting. Decades ago, they went on to tell me that they would steal from me so I look stupid in front of the internet. Oh, ha ha ha, Arlene can decide who can eat or not. So let's give her Santa Lasma then. That's a mockery of a man. That's your husband or your dad? Ew. Fuck. Qué asco. That's embarrassing. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. I don't want that near me ever. When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel the planet and meet people, ideally polyamorous. I'm excited about that. What else? What else? What else? Oh, my children see that. I don't need to talk to anyone. And they're like, well, Liz, it was hijacked on a bike. Because she had her bike in the apartment that she and us lived in. She was hijacked of a vehicle. She was hijacked of a bike. Abuela Kailani don't talk to Abuela today. She showed me videos of them all bouncing on mom's bed like monkeys in Puerto Rico. Like, y se le treparon con ropa puesta encima de alguien, faking que era alguien. They're mattress sniffers, they're panty sniffers, they're so gross. You can decapitate Ana Luz Carrero. You can decapitate me, having Suarez sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of your saved money. Having that being in this post with what I suspect happened that they trafficked me into poverty and they stole my belongings from storage. I couldn't pay for it. My siblings want to watch as spectators. What else? 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 So they may be showing that to my children. They're disgusting. Porque my children come from a mother that didn't have a set of grandparents, so she must be disrespected, is what they say. They're bigots, they're misogynists, they're disgusting, son una basura, una asquerosidad. I don't ever want that near me. It's stupid. It's stupid. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather starve if I want to. Y se nota because I do all the effort to stay alive. Why am I having to ask people to give me money on the internet? He profits off of that. He's stupid. He's disgusting. I love living like a tourist all the time. I've taken some great pictures. Oh, he wants to kill me. And be like, ese teléfono le pertenece a tu papá. ¿Por qué? Anyways, I'm just gonna look at this and say once again. So related down to the taco. So this one's slightly different. What? Oh, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So they're stalking me. This is why they steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. They're like, those are beautiful pictures. If she dies, I can download it, right, and sell it to someone. What else? 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 I'm bored. What was I gonna do with this? What was I gonna do with this? Oh. So either way, they're like, well, her dad sent her money, even if it's ACP, we own that. He thinks that he took over the government and that I won't even be approved for food stamps. He's embarrassing. He's embarrassing. And then he cries that he's in Lorenzo enough, like me. So he's been looking at this, and based on what I witnessed while I was growing up, and every time that people say, wow, qué foto tan... Or diablo, con un teléfono robado, sí, cualquiera. Porque entonces they want to make me like la slut que roba and is so hot and sexy on their dicks. They're stupid. They're disgusting. They're stupid. So gross. In the meantime, where are those pictures? When was that? Oh, that was last year. I have been in my apartment for what, maybe a few months. I'm bored. I took this one to taste. What else? 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 That's the reaction that I get. No, mami, con este teléfono robado. Qué vergüenza sacar eso de internet. No publiques eso más nunca, mami. Mejor cánsate con papi de nuevo para que te pague la comida. Pero they know that I always had my own debit card, my own credit card, my own checkbook, my own cash. They can't ever say cásate con papi otra vez para que te papi te pague la comida. And they know that that's a violation of rights too. What else? 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 Anyways, this has become. Yo, ya aprendiste a hablar español. Y uno de intenta leer esa asquerosidad lo necesario y te estás enterando lo asquerosa que es a través de mí, pero because you had your doubts. Of how she stalks you, always knows who you're with, what you're doing at what time. And you thought that leech is so creepy, like what the fuck? So some people are like, wait for the explanation from our leech. Of how Jeannie Dendalitis is so disgusting. Stay away from my man. Ew. She's disgusting. Anyways, that is my kid. That kid has seen me take pictures in front of her, and I've taken her pictures sometimes. What else? Anyways, I can fit. Oh, I have pictures to prove it. I have pictures to prove it. The dark meat when seasoned so well is so good. What else? What else? What else? That chicken is out of style for some. Where is that picture? What? What else? What else? What else? Pechuga roll. It's still loading. It's so slow. Do I want to bring food to my apartment? I'm tired. Slept until like 12 today. It was so good. What else? What else? What else? What else? So these people that I grew up around want to kill me. It's better if I say it, not if I hear it from a prosecutor. For example, when I showed this, they want to kill me because they're like, Arlene, we woke up at 7 today and we had been masturbating to you the whole morning, thinking that you were awake. And then it's so upsetting that we've been masturbating to you being awake all morning. And then you're like, hi guys, I just woke up at 1 p.m. Who got it right? Who got it right? Who got it right? Oh, you guessed it that she heard sleeping and you didn't start masturbating to her until later today. They're disgusting. You can decapitate Juve Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Guillermo Carrero. You can decapitate Eva Lorenzo Acevedo. They're sex addicts, they're porn addicts, they're so gross. You can decapitate Gina Jamavides Lorenzo Suarez. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo Sons that raped me and steal my money and get in the way of your. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else can I remember from being hungry in 2020? Anyways, Unity Dalitis won decades ago. She's older than me, has more money than me, had her own room and her own wardrobe, and she is the short thing orgasm. And he's a man and he can't go without, and he has so much more experience than me, gente. Eso es un licho que no son bruto. When at 2 years old, I was on that dick. He doesn't, él no sabe ser hombre fo. He's an embarrassment. They're an embarrassment. I'm bored. I'm bored. If it is. So did he kill a lot of people in El Paso? When I saw that, because I hadn't talked to my godfather that lives there. So he's like, that must mean that she knows that we steal from her still. Did he kill people in El Paso? And then when, like, what the fuck, she didn't call anyone either? I have a right to stay to myself. I have a right to not get raped. I have a right to not get sexually harassed. I have a right to not be a victim of hate crime. They're disgusting. I'm like, what do I know about El Paso? Ugh, qué asco. What else? You can decapitate Jiver Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Mario Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Ariel Acevedo. That stays in my home, steals my vehicles, gets in the way, receives money, steals my money. Ew, ew, ew. I'm not gonna follow formality just so that they can go to jail. They're disgusting. They kill over dick and vagina, so gross. Ew, 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 ew. What else? You can decapitate. Benjamin. I'm born. The heck is that what people said to them? You disrespect early in the sleepovers. And they don't get it still. They trafficked me into a 1-bedroom apartment thinking that I was gonna invite them. Cool. Like my parents weren't in the way of me seeing them. They wanna make my parents the bad guy when they just are men full. Ew, 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 ew. Was that commenting from Victoria Jordan? I'm like, how can a person that's dead be typing? Ew, 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 ew. What? I'm born. No, I'm not gonna remember or find out which one out of them was them, or do they switch the account? They're like, dale, ahora comenta tú from Victoria Jordan. Ahora tú. Ew, they're disgusting. In the meantime, they say that if they for them to continue sucking his dick and being on their vagina and penis, they has to kill me. Ew, they're disgusting. They're disgusting. Ruin my parents' home. My siblings are worse than monkeys, so they're just like, whatever. You seek revenge instead of doing the right thing. They're very mature sugars. What else? What else? I'm tired. I need a vacation. Where's the name? Commenting. Program like that has to be a fake account, most likely. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Who the fucking cares? I care. I ruined my family. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? All the leeches that stay in my homes without my permission, they're like, your parents are awesome. We did like an MTV thing and moved into her home. Así parecen. Dan un asco. They're disgusting. They're worse than hillbillies. They're embarrassing. You can decapitate Gloria Margarita Cartagena. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez and his sons that raped me, that steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate Janice Vega. They're all drug addicts, sex addicts, so girls behind the scenes, they may have their own cliques of like, ha ha ha, they're so delirious, but Gloria Margarita Cartagena said to her, Diana Marquez. Oh, it's a relatable for both for me and Kaylani. That's pretty. It's the brows, the look. With the long white skirt and the chambray top. What else? What else? What else? What else? With the long curly hair too. What else? Though I've seen that in like every hairstyle. What else? I'm bored. Anyways, congratulations to Benjamin Solis and his sons and Ginny Jandalides, Lorenzo Suarez on their arranged marriage decades ago. According to them, she has more money than me. That's because they steal from me. She had her own bedroom, she had her own wardrobe, and she's older than me, and she's the sure thing orgasm. They're not men or women, they're disgusting. You can decapitate. They have citizens that rape me to steal my money and get in the way we receive money. You can decapitate Gina Gentalides and Suarez that's trying to rape me, Jada and Kehlani before Jada and Kehlani were born. They've been raping for more than 30 years, stealing my money and getting in the way of me receiving money. They're stupid. They're stupid. Ew, ew, ew. What else? I guess I have not. they pride themselves that they showed up together to comment. If that's one of those dicks, they're like, there I am with my woman Sonia talking to her. Ew, ew, ew. Qué asco that they show up. So, and then they're like, we're in the know behind the scenes. They're like, Victoria Jordan y Pablito. No te acuerdas que tú tenías cáncer, mujer. Con la boca así llena de semen sucio. ¿Qué hablan? Da un asco. You can decapitate Gustavo Cáceres. You can decapitate Janice Vega. You can decapitate Gloria Margarita Cartagena. Dios, Dios, Dios. I'm bored. What is their dick to fight over? Oh, eso no sirve. Eso no sirve. Eso es un asco. Ew, that gets off in abusing people and people seeing people starve. That's disgusting. They're menoritos asquerosos. Their dad knows it. Were you surprised? That was not the first time that I used it. That did not come out of my brain, did it? Do I call them that? People with my body language, they get to like menorito asqueroso. Or people are like, what the fuck? So for decades, people refer to him as menorito asqueroso, and he's that old and doesn't mature ever. That's not a compliment. Ian, please keep your family drama away from me. For real. This is my life, this too. So I'm appalled that, oh, my dad used to take me to so many trips and I met so many hoes. That didn't compare to you. That's not my problem. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I want to travel. I missed it. I miss Canadian. How did it go? I missed it. I miss Canadian. I don't time. You can decapitate me, homie, and citizens, sons that rape me, that steal my money, and get in the way of mercy. It's May 4th, 2025. I'm bored. I'm gonna cook for myself and other money to pay for my electricity. And I hope that's not 8 months, that it's sooner. You can give me money. I owe AT&T money for my pass phone, my iPhone. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. That was the hardest day of my life. Once again. What? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. Mm. Oh, I needed it for October. I did inquire about a 3-bedroom, but I needed something a lot quicker, and I got myself on the list. I didn't want to wait until December. I didn't feel safe. Porque Jorge Aviles raped me at Garden. I was just there to dance by myself. And he placed my hand on his chest and said que no tú tienes algo así en tu casa. I'm like, we're the men, but this is why I can't So I'm like, I know, no otro tipo pendejo de agua de Puerto Rico, thinking that my baby daddy no me va a salir de mi casa. Where am I right now dancing alone? They're stupid. They're just after one's vagina picture mientras lo calientan. Possibly not even into me. So gross, so disrespectful. Con tanta gente lambiéndole el pene desde chiquito. Posiblemente warming him up for him to rape me and possibly get a chance to know me. They're stupid. Is she still dramatic? I'm feeling Brittany Acres in self-defense. She stays in my home without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, and steals my money. They're disgusting. Does this as an adult stay in my home without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, and steals my money? That, yeah, I don't know. And half of a lot of people that I don't talk to. What else? What else? What else? What else? Ew, she's disgusting. You can probably Marilyn Lorenzo. That's after my vagina pictures after raping me. They're disgusting. What else? 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 They're embarrassing. They take really good pictures. What else? Do I want food before we eat, or do I want some chocolate and lipsticks and water in my apartment? Possibly just that. I'm heading over to downtown. When does it get here? Central Market to Travis Park. Nine 42. 9:45. 9:50. Number 8. There it is. What else? Broadway and Patterson's heading over to Central Plaza. That's so weird. Should I get a lot? Maybe. Is there? However, I'll change it as I Didn't the ladies kill Gloria Nirsa just to tell me to stop talking to her mother? She's severely stupid, severely delayed. I haven't talked to her mother in decades at least. Briefly, maybe once in the past 20 years. She's stupid. She thinks that whatever storyline she plays about one in her head, that one will follow. Es bruta. Es bruta. Ew, 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 ew. You can decapitate how many sort of sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of your money. I'm bored. So Martin Navarro and from Pecana Navarro. Such leaving from Pecana Navarro. So I can draft 14 to over something. Is that like a new route for 14? That's so weird. It's very convenient. If one is a haven for hope or the area, heading over onto Central Market Broadway. Isn't it possible? That's where they're trying to traffic me. They're trying to traffic me into a homeless shelter again, so I can't have guests. So he's like, el macho, donde son huevos así, que le brinco. Que está rodeado de mujeres y de hombres todo el día, porque es importante y sexy, bla, bla, bla. Es una basura, una asquerosidad. You can decapitate my Hamid's sons and sons that rape me, that steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. They're trying to traffic me into my parents' home because they think that they can just walk in, disrespect my dad after they've killed my mother, and walk into whatever bedroom I stay in and rape me. They're stupid. They're stupid. In the meantime, I just want to post here. Where are the comments? Bunk beds. Do I should be doing this every day is what a lot of people say. Tagging the FBI and saying you can decapitate Carolina Chavez. This stays in my home without my permission. Oh, there's a typo. Oh, there's another typo. So he steals my money and gets away with receiving money para que Johanna se ría cuando se lo mame. So that Jimmy Jandaliri se ría de mí cuando se lo mame. So Yesenia Ramirez Lorenzo se ría de mí cuando se lo mame. They're disgusting. I don't ever want that near me. They're disgusting. They're embarrassing. So gross. Ew, 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 ew. You can decapitate Johanna Vargas. You can decapitate Carolina Chavez. You can decapitate Jimmy Jandaliri Lorenzo Suarez. You can decapitate Yesenia Ramirez Lorenzo. You can decapitate Benjamin Sons. Then rape me and steal my money and get in the way of mercy. It's May 4, 2025. When do I start receiving money? You can give me money in person through PayPal. It's AR Blue Sky Designs Go. En lo que estoy pensando, straight to my heart. Arlene Lorenzo Art. Johanna Vargas got a social services degree to tell him she chose. Okay. She chose with that pose because she could be raping her kid. Oh no, that was me. She's not the first leech to go on to get a degree in something that's just entertaining to them see that they have a degree leads them to a path. So hopefully they get the penalty of like has the degree, no se comportan. What? What else? Can someone get this embarrassment out of this planet? Has the degree in social sciences y no se comporta bien. No one sees something wrong in this to kill her in self-defense right away. There was someone already in my family of origin that had been conduced that way into the social science, like that one marketing degree. What else? What else? Has the marketing degree supposed to? I'm bored. I'm aiming for. What is it? Thousands of people to be decapitated for abusing me. I'm talking to FBI Post. Has a marketing degree, so stupid. Es bruta con cojones. You can decapitate Carolina Chavez. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm going to the restroom and then heading over to the stop, I think. Yeah, very soon. Central Market. So it's me money, or you can pay somebody at a There's no point of renting. I don't have even my Nike. I don't have my Nike. I didn't want to torment me with did you meet her? Does she wear Nike and Heidi? Ugh. cafe, everyone that stays for me, everyone that steals money, everyone that stays in my home without my permission, everyone that steals my name. It's May 4th, 2025.